I was born and bred in Accra in the mid-60s, somewhere in the mid-60s. I was born at Kolibu, obviously, and we lived in Udanta Street at Asylum Down. That was where I was brought up. It was a family house, and me and my parents were living in the house then with other cousins and other family relations. And we grew up as basically a Christian family. And because actually my grandfather and my great-grandfather were ministers, and ministers, that's the ministers of Christianity, the gospel. And I have a few uncles who are also ministers. Today, I have an uncle called George Mallet. He's stationed at Calvary Baptist Church at Sarkodie. Yes. So I grew up from a Christian family, and my dad comes from the Volta region. He's away. My mom comes from the mountains. She's from Latte. But interestingly, the house I grew up in, we spoke Ga always. So it was Ga that I grew up with mostly. So unfortunately for me, I can't really speak my mother and father tongues, But well, since I'm a Ghanaian, I speak some Twi and Ga at least. So well, at least it makes me more than a Ghanaian. My name is Emmanuel Mallet. I was actually an only child between my parents. That's my mother and my father. Between them, I was the only child. But I grew up in the midst of cousins. Like I said, it was a whole family house I grew up in. So the growing up wasn't as pamperous as anybody would think. I mean, people think that because I'm an only child, I must have been pampered and all that. But no, it wasn't so. I grew up from with a very strict father. He made sure the training he got from his parents, he meted that same training to me. So it made us be on our toes to watch out, to make sure that every time we are doing, well, we are not perfect, but at least we kept, our toes in check. We kept our lives in check, making sure that we're doing the right things always. That question that always goes around kids, that, well, what will you be in future? What will you be in future? Well, obviously I had one or two dreams, but that wasn't actually what I wanted. What I wanted to do is what I am doing now. Okay, I went to school at Agri Memorial. That's where I started my school. It's a school behind the broadcasting house, just by the broadcasting house. I left in 1975 for Accra Academy. When I left Accra Academy, I went to Tech to actually do book publishing. We actually started a course. I went through university because I just wanted to grab a first degree, and then also to put myself into an intellectual and scholastic arena where I can expand and open up my faculties just a little. At the end of the day, this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to be in showbiz. I wanted to be in the entertainment industry. I wanted to be in music in particular. And that's what I'm doing today. For years I've been fulfilled, and I'm still fulfilled, But unfortunately, let me say the truth. Unfortunately, I've had a few disappointments in the sense that when I was growing up, like a little boy, I was thinking that just as music and showbiz paid in certain countries or in certain environments, there was the same thing here. But unfortunately, I got all my hopes dashed. That is the only probably I would say. I mean, I won't point it as a fact, but probably I would say that it's one of the regrets I've had. But talking about the thing itself, doing it itself, no. I mean, I've been fulfilled. Yes. My mother actually, God rest her soul, she wanted me to be a doctor. She wanted to brag with me, and her only son, my doctor. You see, have you met my doctor's son? Do you know my doctor's son? That kind of thing. Parents, Now that I'm a parent, I see that kind of thing. And my first daughter wants to go into showbiz badly, and I'm like, I'm a bit apprehensive for her. I mean, I would want her to pursue another thing apart from being in showbiz. Don't ask me why. That's also another story for another time. You know, so I mean, my parents, yes. Somebody like my father, he's more liberal. He's like, it's your life, what you want to do with it. If you blow it, that's your own thing. If you succeed, well, glory to God anyway. You know, so the opposition wasn't that kind of stringent. It wasn't strict, but it was there. You know, every parent would want the child, hey Charlie, my lawyer's son, my doctor's son, my engineer, you know, that kind of thing. But then I was sorry to have disappointed at least somebody like my mother, you know. If she anywhere she is, then she should forgive me because I didn't turn out to be the doctor that she wanted, but well, I'm happy. I wish you hadn't come back to that question, but well, welcome anyway. You see, like I said, I'm fulfilled though. I'm fulfilled doing what I'm doing, but I said the regret I had was that this environment doesn't do well. You understand what I'm saying? Over there, once you break through with the level I am now in Ghana, if I was in another hemisphere or another environment, like by now, you know, I mean, things wouldn't have been the way they are, you know, but because of this environment, it doesn't pay as the other environments. So I wouldn't want anybody to come and follow this kind of, you know, unsure and finicky career or business. At a point now, I don't even see music as a career. A career is something that you keep till you are retired or till you die or something. But in Ghana, I don't see music as a career. Ask me why. Why? Because people like Stonebwoy and Sarkodie and things, at a certain age, they'll be retired. Why should it be so? You are supposed to do music till you die. I know musicians, when you go to other countries, musicians, Papa Wemba was on stage when he collapsed and he died. Miriam Makeba was on stage when she collapsed and died. B.B. King in America was touring when he fell sick and the doctors had to tell him to stop and he went to hospital and he died at the age of 89. You know, I can give you countless, what do you call it, examples or instances. But over here, at a certain age, they say go and sit down. Nobody wants to see you, nobody wants to hear of you. Is it a career? Can you call it a career? It's not a career, it's like a job. Now music is like a job. Charlie, I can't find anything to do. Okay, Charlie, let me enter some studio, crash, give me some beats. And then they give you beats and then you come and, you know, do some this thing on it. You hit. You are all over the place for some time. For a short time. Another person comes, they kick you out. You don't have a career. But I would want my offspring to have a career, a more, well, for want of a better word, a more serious career. Because music is like there's a lifespan on music, and it's not supposed to be so. It's not supposed to be so at all. People have stroke and high blood pressure and things, and are still performing in other countries. But here, at a certain age, you are supposed to be sitting down in a wheelchair to be wheeled around. And then they'll have mercy on you. Sorry. And that's all we are happy about. So it's like, I don't understand, but whether our leaders don't get it that, Charlie, look, music is a career. We should learn to make it a career. Somebody must be able to sing till 60 years, 65 years, it doesn't matter. It shouldn't be like at a certain age, then you are kicked off, then you are no more. You know, if you do that, then look, all these musicians that we see around, I pity them. Because it means that they should just try as much as possible, make some money, build a couple of houses, and buy a couple of cars, and then that will be their security for life. Because at a certain age, Ghanaians don't want to see them. I don't know if it is the total Ghanaian general populace or some players in the industry that do that. But what we are doing is we are hurting the industry. The industry is no longer a career. It is not a place where you go looking for a career. There's nothing like a career in there anymore. If there's going to be a career, there's somebody who is doing some maybe administrative work for music or gambling or that kind of thing, administratively. But as performance-wise, you know, like being a studio engineer or being an artist or something, at some age, then they just feel like they are tired of you. Meanwhile, there's a lot more you can give. Maybe that's even when you are bubbling your best. but they would like to put you away and put you aside and not to bother about you anymore, which is not right. So that is why I'm a bit apprehensive when an offspring of mine tells me that, Daddy, I want to do, I'm not too happy with it because of what I know. Yes, but it's not like the thing is wrong. No. I love it myself, and I've been in it, and like I said, I've been fulfilled. I've been happy about it so far. But just that economically, it doesn't really pay. Well, even when I was in school, I was playing music to the extent that during my stint at UST, KNUST, as a student, I even almost got sacked because almost every weekend I was in Accra playing session here and there. And back in those days, I was mostly with gospel groups. So I was playing for gospel groups. I played for Calvary Road. I was playing for Joyful Way. Those kind of groups back then. So when they ask me, well, I'll say officially or as a professional, probably about 25, 27 years ago. But I've been into music before then. Before then, I've been into music. So you can safely say more than 30 years. Really, there wasn't supposed to be any barrier. There wasn't supposed to be, Hip Life and High Life was supposed to be married together. Or let's say rather, Hip Life came from High Life. Hip Life is supposed to be an offspring of High Life. As the name denotes, hip hop, hip, and High Life. It was a combination of the two. That was how come, So Hip Life came out of High Life. So I wasn't expecting, or I'm not really expecting, because even at a certain stage, you realize that some of the Hip Life artists were using some of the old High Life tracks, like resampling them, redoing them. We had a war with A.B. Krenzel and a few others. I mean, Achami played Masanaba, which was a good typical High Life song. So actually there wasn't supposed to be any friction between Hip Life and High Life, and I wasn't expecting High Life to die when Hip Life came. Far from it. The reason why Hip Life was born was not because it's still High Life. It came to add on to the general play of Ghanaian music. It came as an additional genre. Oh yes, I was very involved when it came up. Yes, I was the first person who started recording Reggie Rockstone. So we had that affiliation and we had that mind to, form a new genre. That's how come. I was there too. Well, actually, when we began, we didn't even know that we would receive that much attention. We were trying something, and at that time, hip hop had also started. Even in America, it was a new thing that was coming up. So, fortunately for us, when we started it caught on. So actually, there wasn't actually, the measures I would say we put in place was we were dedicated to what we were doing. That's all. We made sure that what we were doing, we kept doing it, even though obviously it had some bashing. I mean, it met with other people too who were not happy with it, who were not in favor with it. But hey, it's all art, and we decided to, keep our art going. It's technical, very technical. I mean, High Life, yes, High Life. It's like okay, let's compare it to reggae. Reggae is reggae. Some of us were born. Reggae was before some of us were even born. Then reggae has evolved. Reggae didn't start the way it was today. It has evolved. It started from ska, and then even before ska, there was other rhythm. And before it came to ska and generated to some other rhythm, before it came to reggae that we know today. So it has evolved over the years up till now. So High Life is always High Life. You can't take it out. And there are elements, as like reggae, the elements that make reggae, there are elements that also make High Life. And the moment you start departing from it, then means that you are going off. Yes. But as far as I'm concerned, High Life has always been High Life. It's just that we are not playing it anymore. And we might not be playing it well, even if we are trying to play it.